Hello and welcome to this week's Old School livestream. I am your host Mod Gambit and I'm joined on the couch this week by Mod Bruno.
Hello.
Mod Tide.
Hello.
Mod Wolf.
Hello.
And Mod Rock.
Howdy.
And we hope you're having a wonderful week.
Indeedy.
Indeedy. How's everyone's week going here?
Great. Pretty good.
Yeah? Good. We have a slightly different stream for you today, so it's going to be the standard Q&A for the first, I think, 40 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we're going to have a segment which Mod Wolf is going to tell you all about.
Yeah, so we have a new extension made for us called Quiz Kit. If you are a RuneScape player, you might have saw it yesterday, but we have 12 questions ranging in difficulty from easy to master, just like the clue scrolls. And essentially, there is an extension pop-up, probably like, I think here-ish right now, if I was to estimate where it currently is. If you click on that and you allow it to give you your permissions, it'll take your name, the top 10 in this quiz, which will be happening 40 minutes into the, I think it was around here. That was kind of funny. If that worked out really well, that looked great. It'll allow you to join in.
Covering my face.
Yeah, make sure you give it all your permissions that it asks for. It's essentially just to get your Twitch name so that we know who you are. And then the top 10 of this quiz in the final 20 minutes of it will be up for some prizes, mainly membership. So good stuff. Everybody likes free stuff, right? So why not? It is the first ever time we've used it on this. So fair warning, stuff may go wrong, but we do hope to do more with this in the future. So get excited for that. Let your friends know. Make sure you sign up and get ready. And we'll jump on that in about 40 minutes. Other than that, I'll tell you more information when it starts. So I'm going to pass this back.
It looks like some of you have worked out already. !quiz
Yes.
Will bring up all the info for you.
I'm not in dungarees this week. I went with a lumberjack look instead.
Lumberjack outfit unlocked.
There we go.
Very nice.
They seem to prefer that one. They really didn't like them dungarees.
So in the Twitch chat is your designer for your class.
I know, right?
Fashion advisor. I want to do a shout out for some user-generated content. I have a slideshow which our lovely producer is hopefully going to bring up of two pieces of artwork. This was by a user on Reddit who goes by Corvu66, so check them out. They've got a few more like this. The first one is sort of Xanaris. I think that, well, just looks nice. That's why I wanted to show you guys and share it.
I say Xanaris.
Xanaris.
I say Xanaris as well.
Oh, yeah. Am I just being too like?
No, I didn't.
La-di-da?
I actually think it is Xanaris. Like Mod Ed was, we always have arguments over how you pronounce things. I mean, it's obviously Ardugan, but
Wow. Controversial.
but I think it's Xanaris.
Okay, but yeah, no, I thought this was lovely.
I mean, sorry, Xanaris.
Xanaris.
It's really, I like the, again, we spoke about this the other week, but I like different art styles when it's done. And this one's, it's definitely done on a pad, but I just kind of like this like paint swish effect. It looks a lot more as if it was hand painted kind of thing. It's pretty.
Very pretty.
Well done.
We also have one more by the same user, which I'm trying to remember what they called it. I think it was Fletching at Before Daybreak or something along those lines is the title. You'll have to forgive me, Corvu, sorry for that. But yeah, I thought this was really nice.
Oh, you know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of that scene in Harry Potter where Snape just got bit by the snake and he's just about to cry for Harry Potter.
Oh,
Spoiler
no.
alert, Snape dies. But doesn't it look like a little bit?
I see what you're getting at.
And
yeah.
he's just about to give his tear to show his love for his mother. Which is actually a bit weird when you think about it. But yeah.
Right in the feels. But yeah, there's the user on Reddit. If you want to check out the rest of their artwork, they've got a few more which I thought were really, really nice. Oh, look what you've done. You've spoiled the chat now.
You ruined the film for everyone.
How old is that film?
That 10-year-old movie, ruined.
Damn.
It's like he was a ghost all along
I don't get it.
from the film Ghost.
I see Snape.
Oh, that was terrible.
All right, just try to think of other announcements. I've sort of been a silly, I'm not going to use the word I was about to use.
Goose.
Goose, yeah, for leaving out announcements. We've got, what's happening? We've got a poll that we'd like to put out on Friday. Just to give you guys a heads up of what's happening. So tomorrow we'll be posting a blog alongside the game update post, as usual. We'll be posting a blog talking about the remaining changes to Song of the Elves that we'd like to make based on your feedback for polling on Friday. That's the plan. If all goes to plan, it'll be Friday till, I think, Tuesday is what we're aiming for. what can players expect in this week's update? Do you know off the top of your head, Wolf?
There's a lot coming this week. We have the smithing interface quantity buttons that we...
Oh, those are nice.
Those are great. Same with silver crafting. We also have the ecumenical keys no longer having that timer shenanigans happening. People were just hopping to get rid of it anyway. So
And they can be dropped by Aviancies.
They can be dropped by Aviancies now. We also... we've done quite a lot this week, actually. I said I was going to write it down this time so that when this came up, this wouldn't happen.
Basically, there is multiple things coming from the last poll that we did, including the watering of tithe farms with a single tap,
yeah.
which is a big juicy one that we seem to get.
Speaking of tithe farm, there's also Beloga's Blessing.
Oh yes, you get 10 per point now as opposed to one
per
every
2 points,
Per 2
which was
points.
insanely low. So yeah, I forgot about that one. I tested that one so long ago, I completely forgot about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tide, am I right in saying we have you to thank for the interface changes?
For the original interface, yes.
Okay.
Ash for changing it.
Okay. So it was your gold crafting one, and we sort of taken that and applied it to smithing and silver crafting.
Silver crafting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what Ash has done is centralised the system so it's a lot easier to use, so we don't have duplicated code in multiple places.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, it's very streamlined and nice to use. It's very much just click on the quantity you want,
Oh, same for... I nearly forgot about it.
and make the thing.
Oh no, that's next week. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Our chaos lectern and player-owned house. Well, I may as well say it anyway. Next week we have the marble lectern coming to player-owned house, 77 construction. So congratulations, by the way, on getting a pool.
Oh, thank you so much.
We can't make fun of you anymore,
Well,
which is
yeah, after
well, we
roasting
can.
myself on stream, I decided to fix the problem.
Yeah. So that's coming along and has all the tablets. That also has quantity buttons added, and all the old ones have them as well. So that's going to be quite fun. And the Archaeus lecterns being updated with quantity buttons next week as well. So
Nice.
starting to standardise a couple of those interactions for you, which should be fun.
The new top-end lectern looks really good. I love the model for it.
Yeah, so you have like the demon lectern, the eagle lectern, and for a joke we call this one in-house the deagle lectern.
I just get Modern Warfare 2 flashbacks when I think
Yeah,
of Deagle.
I don't think we necessarily want to call it a deagle game.
So it's just the marble lectern.
All right, so I'm going to move on to the questions then. The first one I've seen asked by quite a few players, especially following the warding poll, which was our highest ever voted on poll by a country mile. I think it was something like
It's 100,
almost 25,000,
yeah, it was
25,000 clear?
6,000 votes, I think, something like that.
around there.
As opposed to a previous, which was 101.6 or something.
Yeah. But following that, obviously, raised a few questions around polling itself. So one thing in particular, you guys wanted to know sort of how severely players, particularly high-level players, tend to have more alt accounts. So what you guys want to know is to what degree do single players using multiple votes on their alt accounts affect the polls? And I think, Mod Wolf, you can give us some insight on that one.
Yeah. So we don't just... As fun as it is to see numbers that you guys do, oh, don't do that one. I've got a burnt nose. Go back to the full one. I burnt my nose with pride.
He's going to zoom in on it.
We do track all your guys' votes, and we check to see your level, your total levels, what kind of players you are. The long story short is that alt accounts don't truly actually affect the outcome of a vote. You take warding as an example.
But Reddit said they do.
Yes, Reddit did say that they do, but we are capable of seeing those votes, and I can definitively say that even without those additional votes, warding as an example would not still have passed the 75% threshold.
Wouldn't have been close.
It would have been it would have been closer,
Yeah, but not as close as
but
people think.
nowhere near as close as people might think it might have been if we removed those votes.
Right.
In fact, actually, one of the so we also have cohorts of levels as well, and we have looked at, what if like these group of people and these people didn't vote and vice versa. For all questions, we do that all the time, just on the back end to see what would happen with stuff. And very rarely is there a difference if you take out people under 700 total level, for example. There's not a substantially bigger difference in opinion of yes or no.
Right.
And never, I think maybe with the exception of maybe one or two that were incredibly close to passing, like 74.8% kind of things, would you have just got something to pass? And generally speaking, they were things that will just potentially repoll in the repoll blog in the future if opinions change, and if not, that's fine. So yeah, the TLDR of that question is alt accounts don't affect the outcome of polls to the extremity that people might expect, and more importantly, to an extremity that dictates whether or not it passes or fails.
Right, yeah, not enough to actually influence the outcome in this particular case, and not enough for us to be concerned either, really.
But keep doing it. I mean,
yeah.
Keep those bomb prices up. Feels great.
As I said, there's now going to be 2 threads on Reddit going, ha, Reddit, you were wrong, and another one going, oh my god, Jagex are rigging it clearly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Ash said before, and it's perfectly true, which is, despite, I mean, yeah, sorry, let me collect my words for a second.
Somebody said, so our vote doesn't matter. No, if anything, it proves that your vote matters even more, because the people who dictate the outcome of the vote are the people not using alt accounts.
Right. Yeah. No, it's the case of people who say, oh, Jagex could have rigged the vote. Well, we could have been doing that before hiding poll results anyway. We could have been doing it after. It doesn't really make any difference. It's not something we're interested in doing. The whole point of the system is to see what you guys want in game. So we want to stay true to that and implement accordingly.
I don't know. I really want to give numbers, but I just don't think I can. I didn't get permission to say numbers. So, but if I do next week, I can potentially give numbers as well.
Sure. All right, I'm going to move on then to the next question. We've got quite a few more sort of content-specific questions this week, so I'm going to rattle them off. The first is, would it be possible to add an amulet or similar item that makes monsters which are normally unaggressive, aggressive? I'm going to ask you guys to listen to the second half of this proposal before you slam the no button.
Oh, okay, all right.
To avoid it being too powerful, it would follow the usual rules whereby they become unaggressive after a given period of time and you would have to manually reset them. For example, moss giants are unaggressive to me because I have a high combat level. So we're not talking keeping low-level monsters constantly aggressive to you. But it's just
about
things
making
like
the monsters that are no longer aggressive to you because your combat level
Yeah, exactly.
are now
Yeah.
aggressive to you.
Exactly.
Okay, better. It's still probably a no, but
Okay.
a better middle ground at least. I don't know. It depends, because some creatures are just naturally not aggressive as well. Like some
Yeah,
creatures
that's
are
true.
coded not to be aggressive, and I think I wouldn't want those to be aggressive from this. If this is purely aggressive creatures that are already aggressive can still be aggressive to me even if I'm double their combat, potentially. If it's make all creatures able to be aggressive, it's a definitive no, I think.
Okay.
Technically, I don't know how possible it is at all, but on a design point, I'm more inclined if it's things that are already aggressive, just being allowed to be aggressive again if you're over the combat
Yeah,
level.
sure. I very much went through the same sort of thought process when I read the question.
You read the beginning of it and went, oh, and then read the rest of it.
Yeah, I thought,
Or just canon. The chat has a point.
Yeah.
just cannon, forehead. Yeah, I guess that's an answer. Okay, so I don't know what the verdict is on that one. I think the
A lot of the
chat
chat
is
was
saying
no.
no still.
So no.
Okay. Can we allow barbarian assault teams to carry on as a group of 4 after a player has ditched the team? What do we think of this one?
I think the way that the code in the minigame works requires you to have 5 people and to rewrite stuff to allow for 4 would be so much work that the amount of people it affects will be not worth the time spent on it, and people would prefer us to work on other things.
It would be great,
Yeah.
I think, because it sucks when you get to the 8th, 9th wave and somebody leaves and you go, well, time to reset.
Here we go
Yeah.
again.
Oh, I got my torso at wave 9. Sorry, guys.
It's not,
Catch you later.
it's just barbarian
It's the worst
assault code
thing.
takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But it's doable if people wanted it over something else,
a good
especially during like a quality of life poll week kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a good idea because you only really need 4 people to do Barbarian
Yeah.
Assault. But it would be a lot of work for not a lot of payout because that doesn't
Yeah.
happen that much.
It's like I'm not disagreeing with
Yeah.
the idea wouldn't be awesome, because I too have suffered the people where you get that one unmentionable word will leave on wave 9 or even on the Queen wave.
Yeah. I mean, for full disclosure, this is a change we've raised before and thought about. I think it was one I suggested we include in the Poll 68 list of changes, but at the time we decided the cost would have meant that we would have had barely anything else, essentially.
Yeah, it's not laziness. It's not like we don't want to do it. We play the game ourselves. It's just
The amount of other things we could do instead.
you're getting the
Would
smithing
outweigh,
face
yeah.
reworks and all the graphical stuff that went through and skilling updates and PVM updates and tweaks in that quality of life poll that happened. Or it was like, do you want those 30 things that are really good improvements to all that content, or this thing? And sometimes, you know, it could be that thing. It could be that thing. But yeah.
Okay. Moving on, I realised I totally skipped an announcement at the beginning.
Oh.
And C Engineer has very kindly, shout out to C for reminding me. Rock, you've got some stuff to talk about, haven't you, regarding Last Man Standing?
Yeah, so as people are well aware, I've been working away on Last Man Standing, where we had the beta, was it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now? The first beta opened up.
It's all kind of melded in.
Yeah. So yeah, the beta ran for 3 weeks. So thank you to everyone who participated in the beta and provided feedback. I can say that the amount of people that were involved was actually quite astonishing when I heard the number. And we had over 53,000 different accounts go into the beta worlds and play Last Man Standing. That is incredible. And again, thank you for all that's doing that. All the people that jumped in and gave feedback. I can announce that we are going to look at doing a second beta, or beta, however you wish to.
I love it.
The thing is, does anyone here not say it beta? I think it's just a UK US thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are looking at do a second beta, which will also include the engine changes to how the game calculates line of sight. It sounds bigger than it is. I can assure you it's like not going to stop you from having your safe spots over objects and around objects and things like that. It won't suddenly start making things...
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. It's worth pointing out it shouldn't. That's why it's going to a beta.
Yeah, so it shouldn't do that. But what it does do is those annoying spots in PvP where one person is like one tile next to the tree, one tile, another one's a few tiles away. And there is that algorithm that calculates how the attack travels. It now works in the same way, or the testing that I have done has indicated that it now works in the same way, as opposed to how it currently does, which I did see a really good video on how it currently works by Mazar, who kind of explained it to me, for me to help me with testing. But now, with this second beta, it will fix that line of sight issue that that has been one of the biggest complaints that's come out of Last Man Standing. So I'm really looking forward to allowing people to go back into that and play again, and hopefully that resolves a lot of the problems that came with Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
There's a few other things that I'll probably be putting out through my social over the next week or so, because there are a few changes that I want to make to gear. For the last week of the beta, I added the Arim staff and the occult necklace to the starter setup. While one felt like it was a positive change, the occult necklace was a bit more powerful than people wanted at the start. So what I'll probably do is put a poll out through my social to go, should I put in the occult into one of the chests and things like that? Maybe replace it for the dark bow, because the dark bow isn't really used that much. Things like that will be coming out, which I will try and get involved with to get for the second beta, if not shortly after the beta starts.
I think the most important thing when you do a change like line of sight, we can only do so much ourselves when it comes to testing, with a lot, especially with the kind of game that Old School is, where it has little weird idiosyncrasies with its safe spotting in certain ways. We need to make sure that when you guys have this beta, you give us, we hope that you guys will try some things other than LMS as well, of course,
So,
just to let us know, is this working how you'd expect it?
Yeah.
Is this working how you'd expect it?
The beta will have the whole world open, with the exception of Zook, and I'm aware that Zook has line of sight stuff, and that is getting heavily tested in-house by the numerous amount of people we have in-house that can actually complete Zook. And when you're testing line of sight, obviously we can select God mode, so it doesn't matter if we take damage or not, we can still see that the line of sight is working.
Other things will be available in the beta. You will be able to go to Jad, you will be able to kill a quest boss.
Go to all the safe spots that you prefer. Like I've been testing a lot of safe spots that I would use on, say, like my hardcore and things like that, ensuring that they still kind of work and things like that. So there's a lot of testing that's going on from our side, but I would implore you to kind of jump in when the next beta goes live and go and test your spots and let us know if there's anything that doesn't feel quite right or doesn't seem right to you guys.
Excellent. We're also going to be, I think the initial plan was to have it next week, but I think we're pushing it back a little bit further while we deliberate on the rewards of Last Man Standing. But sometime in the future, you guys can expect more info on what those will look like.
Yeah. Based on the last dev blog that was put out, the only changes that come off the top of my head is that the Staff of Paralysis is probably going to be removed because it needs a lot more discussion than we can give it by the time we would like to put it through to a poll. And I think I'm going to open up the discussions about having a Barbarian Assault style gamble feature for Last Man Standing points.
Nice. To
have a standard GP based drop table as well.
Excellent. Cool. I know you're too modest to accept this kind of thing, but I know the chat and players as a whole are very grateful for the work that you've put in personally as well to Last Man Standing. And I think that's
I'm certainly not the only one. Maz put in a lot of work to help me get the initial beta out. Ash has done some work and is doing some stuff for the full launch as well to help out. So yeah, that's awesome. Everyone else is jumping behind it since the beta came out. It did way better than I expected it to do. And I think there was other people that didn't expect it. It's like it came out of nowhere essentially and hit like a truck in terms of sentiment wise. So
yeah,
thank you for playing it, and go play it again when the next one comes out.
Excellent. Cool. So I'll move back onto the questions then. Thank you very much for that, Mod Rock, regarding Last Man Standing. So we've got some more suggestions for us to go through. The next is, can a dialogue, a few lines of dialogue or a message be added to Juna at Tears of Guthix? It would tell you which skill your experience is going to go towards before you enter.
If we were going to do that, I would have it on not the right click, but have it on the left click dialogue options, because the whole point of having the quick entry is so you don't have to go through the 9,000 lines of dialogue Juna has.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those weird, like we could, but like, you know what your lowest skill is, right?
This is
exactly. Just open up your skill tab and go, which number is different, and if there's the same number, you can check the XP.
I'm on the side of no for this one because of how easy it is to get around. But I can understand people who feel bad when they see the XP drop and it's not in runecrafting, you know? And it's like, well,
go and train runecrafting. RC, not bad.
It wouldn't be hard to do if you guys wanted. If you actually wanted it, especially for people, I guess, who have all 99s and it's experience based, maybe it's something that's a little bit more arduous to know what my lowest XP is. But
could we get it to check if you had two skills of the same level, so you'd see which one it would go into if they're that close?
You just check XP. You check only on experience because you don't have to check on level on the back end. You just go left experience.
All right, I think we're going to go with no because that one's been absolutely destroyed.
It's possible if you guys wanted it.
Okay. Will you increase the maximum number of charges held by the Blade of Saildor? It runs out too fast compared to how long it takes to obtain crystal shards. Do we have any comment on this?
I was going to say, would you not be best placed to answer
I
this
do.
one?
I was just wondering if anyone else wanted to.
It would be nice. I think they are a bit too expensive right now as well, so not really worth using compared to like a scythe, which is like the same tier and same sort of weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's supposed to be an equivalent to a rapier, but in a different attack style, isn't it?
Yeah, it's meant to be a slash rapier, but you've already got a scythe, which is a slash two-handed. So
I mean, with the current charges, it could be a little bit more helpful to allow it to give it a bit more use, I guess.
Yeah, so this is actually a suggestion we've had come up quite a lot. A lot of you guys saying the how long you get to use the sword versus how long you actually have to spend charging it makes it, well, not good enough. So as part of the poll that we would like to run on Friday. One of the changes is to increase the max charges. So you guys can have your chance to vote on this. I think we're going to offer 20k charges, which is significantly more than 2,500.
Yeah.
When it comes to increasing charges per crystal, that's more of a future thing. We just want to get some numbers on average crystals that you guys are gathering at the moment as well. Like potentially we'll offer that in the future. That's one of those that like, it's probably better to wait a little bit so we have some numbers ourselves that we can look at and go, how much more should we up this?
Right. This would also be for all crystal items, just to make sure they're standardized in terms of the charges they hold. So I think the poll question isn't specific to the Blade of Saeldor, it's to other crystal items should they have 20,000. And then we can balance, I think, based on just how much each shard gives charge-wise. But yeah, that's the intention. Our next question is, could the rewards for the Desert Achievement Diary be looked at and revamped? The diary's rewards are currently lacking a major reward or universal benefit, which most diaries have at the hard and elite levels that make them worth completing.
The desert?
Yeah, it has an amazing benefit, but then we put the same benefit in the POH.
Which one?
The Desert Diary has a pool you can go to which does exactly what the POH pool does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it's locked behind the elite, it's actually easier for you to get the
now Mod
construction.
Gambit's got his pull, we can nerf it. Bring back the glory to Nada.
So,
Nada gang.
It's also got the use of not having to drink water skins, which is useful, but it really isn't that useful. If you're like doing things under like mining. But it's pretty limited.
No, but it's such an unpopular opinion. I'd love to nerf that play around house pool. 100% I'd love to. Because I think it's so much harder to get an elite diary for like unlimited teleports in order. 100%. 100%. Balance-wise, it's so much better. But I don't necessarily think people would like me saying that. So that's not us actually doing it, for the record. It could be in the future, but it's not in the plans.
Okay.
yeah, the POH as a whole is kind of a bit over-useful.
It's incredibly powerful, yeah.
Especially when you got a concape as well. Like
Max.
concape.
Yeah.
You just say maxed?
I thought you said comp, and I was like, what? No?
Yeah, it's only like since last weekend, I've realised quite how good the POH really is. I don't know if I want to nerf it. Not just because of like I have it now, but also
Balancing-wise, you know it's broken.
I don't know, broken's a strong word. It's very powerful.
There is...
When you go to bosses, get one kill, teleport to a house, re-heal, run back to the boss and kill it again.
It is
It's a bit...
a lower level requirement, less effort, technically probably even cheaper version than the thing that comes from Nada's Elite Diaries.
What about you need the Nada Elite Diary to be able to use
To use your player on... I like that.
Also, if you're slaying in the catacombs, you just wear your full proselyte, go down there, wait till your prayers drain, teleport out, then you
Yeah, it is
heal,
easy peasy, yeah.
and amulet back.
It's only if you're doing a bit too cheap for prayer pots.
Yeah. What was the question?
I need every
Desert Diary, not good enough rewards. Is there a way we could make them better without nerfing the POH?
Is there any places that aren't on scrolls that we can give the limited teleports to? Maybe if we make the Wesley the Crusher cheaper to use or free to use?
Yeah,
Or something like that, or perhaps you get the agility pyramid is slightly better based on your diaries, or pyramid plunder, the reward, like if you have the elite diaries you have a slightly higher chance of getting a scepter.
Yeah, that's nice.
Or something like that that isn't necessarily just, oh, we'll give you unlimited teleports to this spot, but kind of uses the stuff within the desert to make the desert more interesting. Because the only other thing that's really in the desert other than those two is KQ. And KQ already has rewards to get the shortcuts to KQ, which I advocate for them staying where they are, even though maybe slightly contentious. But yeah, if we were to use the activities to make the object better.
I think it's like a future thing, maybe, like, because I'd like to do some more stuff with achievement diaries in the future anyway. I'd like to have a master diary that covers all regions, for example, like as a future content thing at some point in the future, at which point maybe we might revisit some of the rewards in other diary regions anyway.
Also a lot of dark space on the world map in that area.
That's very true.
So if we can get like kind of content ideas and stuff like that to put in that area, we could tie them into the diary reward.
It's something that we do in like a big chunk, I think, though, is the summary of that. If we were to do, at this point, it's some of the diaries are just a bit underwhelming, so maybe we revisit them at some point.
Okay. Can we have the ability to sell back trouble brewing items to the shop to get back pieces of 8? Either a 100% refund or maybe even something like 80% of the cost, like the way Prospector works at MLM.
If we can turn off the object in your collection log, yes. Yeah, you see, the thing I don't like about this is when we release a collection log, obviously Castle Wars has this option where you could essentially, in order to complete the Castle Wars in your collection log, you only needed 800 tickets as opposed to the X amount of thousands that it is to buy each item individually.
Yeah, 100%.
Trouble Brewing would have that same feature, which I don't think I agree with. So if we did that with the caveat that it will remove the object from your collection log as well,
Right.
then I would be more for it.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that this request comes in purely so they can complete the collection log a lot faster.
Maybe. Okay. I'd be interested to know how many games of trouble brewing actually occur.
Because it's a diary requirement as well,
Yes, but
there will be a fair amount, but the most amount is played by the...
you don't have to play the minigame for the
Technically, no.
diary. You just wait
You
in the
do for
room
the
until the game
pieces of
starts, and then okay. Yeah. All right. So probably not going to change that one, or at least not in a way that allows you to fill your collection log. Some spells like Vengeance fade out when they're on a cooldown. Could the same be done for Home Teleport?
Ooh.
I spoke to Ash about this one. Doing that for Vengeance was very annoying, may I point out. But he said yes. He said he'd love to do that.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
It would be
Are there
really
any other
cool.
spells that don't have a cooldown? That do have a cooldown that don't do that?
Just charge, not do it.
I think Charge does.
I don't think it has a fade out, does it?
Oh. I know the Lunar one that people use, their Magic Imbue does, doesn't it?
I think so.
Does the Bounty Hunter Teleport have a cooldown as well?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Spells that I don't really use that often, but if it has a cooldown, we should probably look and try and grade them out to be consistent with each other.
Wouldn't tabs bypass that? The Home Teleport? Like the...
I think it means home teleport, not house teleport.
Yeah, like
so
the-
there is no home teleport
Yeah.
tab. There's a house teleport tab.
Like the 30-minute cooldown.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. 100%.
Okay. Cool.
Can we do something with the minigame teleport as well? That's a cooldown, but it's not in the Magic Spellbook.
Yeah, because you don't really know when that's going to refresh.
Maybe if we were to put a timer in the minigame tab to say when your next teleport is available.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Could the Dragonstone armor's appearance be altered to either be somewhat in line with rune armor as we know it, or more separated from rune armor? Its current design lands it in a weird position where the colours say runite, but the design says not, cutting it short of being rune. I'm wording. Cutting it short of being to rune as robes of darkness are to mystic robes. I see what they're getting at there.
It doesn't really look like the object that it's supposed to represent.
Right, I think, yeah, that's the point.
Equivalent of.
I want to answer this question on behalf of the Song of the Elves team. One of the things we're going to poll alongside other graphics changes includes Dragonstone armor. I know Mod West has come up with an alternate version based on your guys' feedback that we're going to include in there for you. And the intention of the one we're going to propose is that it does look a bit more like the standard rune armor. It's sort of toned down in maybe some of the extra details that it currently has. So you guys will have your say on that one. Can we look at adding Firewatch to Slayer tasks? They're pretty dead content at the moment, but have a decent drop table. I'd love to see them added to Duradel or Konar. Completion of a Taste of Hope would be required to get them assigned.
Right, but you get Firewatch way before Taste of Hope, don't you?
Yeah,
You can get the Firewatch as soon as you can enter Morton.
Yeah.
So you only need to start Shades of Morton. It's in search of the in aid of the Mayaki.
Yeah, you can also get them outside of Mayaki by just going to like the woodsy area. There's a few there, but back on topic, I don't really think anyone really wants those as a Slayer task.
They're
Go.
pretty garbage
Yeah.
apart from for one person.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever see the update that was done in RuneScape?
I did, and after that they were very useful.
They were
but-
very, very strong.
Yeah.
All it took was one weapon
Yeah.
being added. Did you ever hear about it?
No.
They had to nerf them afterwards.
Yeah.
They created a weapon called the Sun Spear, which you got from Lord Draken himself. And you kill a Vire and you instantly like stab them, and they burn as if you were to pyre. Put them on a pyre without providing the pyre logs, without finding the sacred oil, and it would give the drop as if you opened up a key in the thing. How spicy is that?
That's very spicy.
But it was very strong. Evidently, that drop table is very powerful. But yeah.
Who'd have thought that if you remove the action of killing them, it's actually good.
Yeah. If you remove the action of burning them, getting the key,
Yeah.
putting inside the lock, and then having inventory management, it's actually a really good drop table.
Adding, again, back to the original one. To add them onto the drop tables would just make those Slayer Masters worse.
Right.
Traditionally, players haven't been too happy about adding random monsters
Right.
onto those tables to make
That
the
makes
Slayer
sense.
Masters worse.
We're very cautious when we add things to Slayer.
Yeah, exactly. If we were to
now.
add it, we'd have to add it as an unlock. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, does anyone really want it, and would it even pass a poll? And secondly, would anyone even buy it?
Completionists.
Yeah, but they'll buy it and then go, oh my god, I still have to do Slayer. Oh, I got buy one. This is annoying.
Yeah. Okay. I got another Song of the Elves related question regarding Zulcano. Could there be a way to make the Golem drop imbued Tephra?
Yeah, the throwy rocky thing.
Yes. For only one player. For example, the one who does the most damage to it.
Just funny you say that.
Just fix that.
Ed walked up to me yesterday and went, Rock, you got time to be able to test this? And I looked at it and went, yeah, that'll be really helpful. Let's put it in. So it's coming out, should be coming out tomorrow.
Literally closed it off like an hour ago. It's happening.
There you go.
I should head over to a computer. Can I have my mic muted, please?
Yes, it is just about that time now, I guess. So for anyone who missed the start of the stream, we're going to host an interactive quiz, test things out, see how you guys like it based on old school questions. Mod Wolf is going to head over to the computers now. In the meantime, I wanted to share with you guys some disturbing found footage from years and years back, I think around 2006.
Did it happen? Was it around, what, June 2006?
June-ish, early June.
Yeah.
Like a strange date, I think.
Yeah,
Like
so
a
this was
spooky
brought to
date.
light by, I think, Little Smokey was the one who brought our attention
The
to this.
undercover
And maybe we could-
investigator.
Yes. So while Mod Wolf sets up over there on the computers, take a look at this.
Well,
That's not playing.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Press the blue button.
Space? I'll press
one of
there
those.
we go.
Hey.
There we go.
Durio, where you at, man? I've been waiting here for what, 20 minutes? These people, they think I'm having some sort of epic drop party.